I think when he conducted the cyber attacks in the United States during the last election, he felt he could get away with it without any kind of response. If there's anything that I've learned in dealing with the Russians, it's that you have to show them that there's a line beyond which they cannot cross.
Well, that was former Secretary of Defense under President Obama, Leon Panetta, another member of the previous administration, who's suggesting that President Obama did not hold Russia accountable as he should have. Former Republican Congressman from Michigan and former chairman of the House Intel Committee, Pete Hoekstra, joining us now. Congressman, I don't mean to throw you off, but we just saw John Podesta interviewed, or either before or after, we're not sure right now, by the House Intel Committee. There he is. Very interesting how some of these investigations that started on Trump are now going back to the Obama administration. What do you think they want to talk to him about?
Well, I think what they want to know from John Podesta, being the campaign manager for Hillary Clinton, what did the Obama administration share with you as the campaign manager that the Russians looked like they were going to try to interfere with the 2016 presidential election? You know, they may be targeting you. They may be targeting people on your campaign. Be careful as you're interacting with the Russians. Yeah. And watch your campaign systems and networks to see if there's any meddling, and maybe put in some enhanced precautions to protect your systems. And, I don't believe any of those conversations took place. David, when we were in Congress, every once in a while we'd meet with the FBI. They'd call us into a room and they'd say, this member of Congress met with this foreign person. We believe that this person is with this other government's intelligence service. We think you ought to, nothing bad happened, but we think you maybe ought to warn this congressman and notify him about who he's meeting with, who or she is meeting with. And I don't think that happened with the campaigns.
We thank you very much, by the way. We had this breaking news. You didn't know we were going to be talking to you about this, but it is interesting how the investigations that just focused on the so-called weakness of the Trump administration vis-a-vis Russia, because somehow Trump and Russia were in collusion somehow, has switched now since they had nowhere to go on that investigation. Now they are looking seriously at the Obama administration. Do you think there's anything to be seen there that we don't already know?
Well, I'll tell you, I think the story that came out in the Washington Post last week on Friday was absolutely devastating to the Obama administration, because it came from Obama insiders. They said the administration knew about this for at least for the 3 months leading up to the election, but they suspected it for a year before the election. They did nothing. One of the Obama insiders said, they choked. Yeah. They also said, the administration believed that there was no material impact on the voters, nothing melted down on an election day. And after a year of, focusing in on this, and they used the term kind of like, this was like the bin Laden raid. And with the intelligence community and law enforcement all watching this election so closely and watching the Russians, they found no evidence of collusion between the Russians and the Trump campaign. So
they move over to obstruction.
Yeah, it is amazing in how 5 days this whole story has totally
flipped 180 degrees. I just want to focus for a moment on Syria, because there are some indications that Syria may be preparing for another chemical attack, even though the last time they committed a chemical attack, they were hit very hard by our Tomahawk missiles. What's going on there?
Well, I think the intelligence community, they know where most of these sites are, and they're watching them very, very closely. They're seeing the indications and the preparation for a potential chemical weapons attack. And I think Trump sent across, a missile across there, a shot across the bow, saying, if you do this, America will respond. We'll have some of our allies respond with us. We recommend that you not do this. Yeah. And if they do use some type of a chemical weapons attack, I can guarantee you the Trump administration is ready and fully prepared to respond. They're not going to tell the Russians, the Iranians, or the Syrians what they're going to do, but something will happen.
They are on notice right now. Congressman Pete Hoekstra, thank you very much. Appreciate you being here.